Oh, you're right. I don't have a green jacket, and if I had one, I might have thought to wear it today. Even though it's Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. Everyone's a little bit Irish today, so it's Jason was out having his fun earlier today.
Yes, sir.
Been wearing that hat all day.
Yeah.
All right. How'd that work out for you?
Worked out well.
All right.
Was hanging out with my wife, having a nice little St. Patrick's Day early day fun day.
Listening to good music by
Dan Varner.
Dan Varner, great entertainer.
Correct.
Getting ready to be another, even though he's a charter sponsor, he's going to be another sponsor here soon.
Excellent.
And actually, Andrew, before Dan goes on to his diatribe,
should we apprise our viewers of our new accoutrement?
Not yet. I'm talking right now. Okay. I'm talking right now, Dan.
Way to go, Dan.
I'm talking right now.
Swag.
I appreciate Andrew Pappas.
I know.
Throwing out some monies. That way we could keep bringing this fucking show to you for another year.
Well, it is now called the Andrew Pappas Show.
The Andrew Pappas Show.
And
yeah, we're gonna have to change all of that. We're changing everything. We're changing all the branding.
We're gonna call it the 513 is a douchebag show.
All right. So all right. So yes, we can now.
That's your award. That's the award. The one more, and I'm out of here. Podcast of the year, best podcast. Right next to.
So that's where you were the other night at the Oscars.
That's right. That's right. I went from the Olympics to the Oscars.
You jumped someone at the as they were walking out to the car and wrestled that away from him. Give me that.
I was a seat filler, so they don't like to have empty seats.
You are definitely
you and Kramer.
You are definitely a man amongst men. You are a man amongst men.
You remember that
good
episode.
Good gig if you can get it.
Seat filler. Got it from Raquel Welch. Jason misses out on all these Seinfeld jokes.
Oh my god!
That's because I fucking hate Seinfeld. Seinfeld's a piece of shit.
I also have my new golden microphone. If people want to see it, there it is.
Oh yeah, it's right there. It's perfect. It's
touch
actually
it.
fitting perfect.
Don't even think about touching
it. It's a different model than the one
Just
Rush had,
don't.
so I'm glad you're not copying off Rush completely.
Well, no one can copy the great.
That is a fact.
But it also does not supersede the fact that we have a new accoutrement.
It's. I didn't ask you. Is that life size? Is it? Did they measure you before they made that?
A man can dream, can he?
I think all three of us. I think all three of us can dream.
Jill's upstairs going, "No, it's not."
And I would literally say, no, it's not. The balls look good.
Oh, the balls look about right. Scale to scale.
I won the Golden
Dickosaurus
for the consolation round in our golf outing, golf league.
Well, it's a golf league. It's a American Sons of the Legion golf league.
Indoor golf.
So we have another accoutrement. I don't want to throw too much stuff to it because I'm afraid we're going to get hit.
We need a bigger desk.
That's a fact
because we have a lot of shit.
We're accumulating this. I could mount a couple shelves back here and we could put stuff.
I know
on the wall.
We're getting there. Trump stays in front though.
Absolutely,
that's a fact. But yeah. So happy St. Patrick's Day, guys. I got to see Andrew a little bit earlier.
Yep.
I love the fact that some of our local Anderson firemen, as soon as you were walking by, they're like, "Hey, fat ass."
No, I think it was dickhead.
No, it was fat ass.
Well, it might have been.
It was
after
a guy named Brad Moore, who we know. He's a lieutenant who I will call him out, and he loves it because he watches the podcast. I heard, "Hey, fat ass." I giggled. But I'm like, you know what? He's a good man. He's a good man. You settle down.
They love listen, let me tell you something. Those guys, they know that nothing, the funny thing is nothing has changed. My relationship with those guys is the same as it was when I was in office. They would say that if I was in office.
Exactly.
They are just, they're just good guys. And I love giving them shit and they love giving me shit. And
that's the way it should be.
And that is the way it should be. You should. I mean,
you shouldn't be afraid of like your quote unquote bosses.
Yeah, well, I never considered that, but I was.
But I'm telling you, like from the rank and file, they look at you as a boss. As a trustee, they look at you as a boss,
former boss. But yes, But
if you were sitting,
I would always give them shit. As a matter of fact, I reminisced with one of them. There it is. Hey, there he is. One of them reminisced one time he was at the shop. I think they came over to do a fire inspection. I saw someone do an illegal when I had the shop, and they did a left turn into Immaculate Heart. And I was like, hey, God damn it. Started screaming out the doors. And he said, I like this guy. He's enforcing traffic laws. No, I'm sorry. I would prefer a desk. I'll approach the Amish, and maybe we'll get some nice Amish wood here. Thank you.
So you're saying you want some quality?
Well, I'm not going to besmirch the man's livelihood. However, I don't want to be in any way, shape, or form indebted or feel obligated to be kind to him after his rantings online, unfounded rantings.
I posted. We can't afford you, so it's fine.
But thank you for the offer.
I do want the record to show that I'm wearing my my Masters jacket.
Yes,
you are a Masters champion.
Because
there's no doubt about it.
I cannot wear my Masters jacket in April. There's no doubt for the Masters putting championship.
I know the event is not going to happen
because
this year.
it is not going to happen.
Our friends down at Clough Crossing, my understanding is there's some renovation work going on.
Yeah, they're doing renovations.
Okay. All right.
So hopefully they bring it back. But if they don't, it's going to be not good for them. Because everybody in the township looks forward to that.
Yeah, that's actually and
it's a fun day.
A golfer. That is a widely followed event. Sad that it's not going to happen.
I have a patch on the inside of this jacket that even says when I won it.
God,
2019.
Jesus Christ,
Masters champion,
longest running Masters champion because of COVID.
Because of COVID.
That's why I got it longer.
Nobody needs to know that.
Well, there was no event the year of the Wuhan.
No, there was not.
Yeah.
So that's why
Why do people call it COVID? Yeah, it's the Wuhan.
The Wuhan.
You always, I love the fact that you always call the Wuhan.
I do like the way. I do like the way you reference it as the Wuhan every time, and I think it's proper.
Remember that when Trump was asked about that? Isn't that a little bit racist? No,
xenophobic.
Yeah, xenophobic.
Yeah, xenophobic.
No,
that's right.
Why do you have to say it comes from China? Because it came from China.
Yeah, and he was being xenophobic when he closed.
That's where it came from.
When he closed travel to China, and they were like, "He's a xenophobe. He hates the Chinese," and it turned out that he was doing the exact right thing. But
so I threw this up real quick. I want to see what your guys' thoughts are. Tucker Carlson being a spy.
Can I just pause here for a second?
Well, it's already on the screen.
I know, but I want to talk about Tucker Carlson.
Yeah. No,
because there is, and I have not really followed this, but there is an ongoing feud on, I guess, on social media between Tucker Carlson, Mark Levin, and now Megyn Kelly.
Oh yeah, it's getting
has gotten involved in this.
Yes, Megyn Kelly has been very vocal about it.
And I mean, there are some really nasty text messages or tweets or social media posts.
Well, they're even saying it on their. She's saying it on her show.
Yeah,
she's saying a lot of shit on her show,
going back and forth between Levin and Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly accused Mark Levin of having a micro penis.
She did.
So, yeah,
she did.
As if that's the source of all his difficulties.
Megyn takes no shit.
No,
she does not take any shit.
And we have said many times and we've played our share of Megyn Kelly clips on this show, and how much I like her honesty. I like her brutality when it comes to sounding off on something that she doesn't like or disagrees with.
Yeah,
but it just seems to me this whole thing with Tucker Carlson and Levin and Megyn Kelly is really getting out of hand, much like the whole situation with what's her name, who's attacking Charlie Kirk's wife.
Oh, you mean what's her face? You just now mentioned.
Yes, the podcaster.
Yeah.
What is her name? Now I can't think of her name.
I don't know who you're talking.
Yes, you do. You will when we say it.
Yeah. But I mean, I've seen some of the videos that she's been posting.
Candace Owens.
Candace Owens, yeah.
I told you,
And I mean,
just took me a second.
she is just going completely off the rails.
There's a lot of,
and there was a time when Candace Owens,
oh god,
was an absolute rising star in the conservative movement.
A sane voice.
I mean, unbelievable, and she spent a lot of time with Charlie Kirk in her early years.
Yep.
And I mean, unbelievably sharp, great memory, excellent sense of timing.
Yep.
Very articulate. And then she had her falling out with Charlie Kirk, and ever since then, I mean, she has just every conspiracy theory that's out there. I mean,
she has not met a conspiracy theory that she does not like. You're absolutely correct.
And it's like she's totally obsessed now with trying to frame Charlie Kirk's wife for his murder. I mean, it's out of control.
Can I play? I'm going to play 2 minutes of this.
Okay.
Maybe not even 2 minutes, but this was interesting. But I knew we would have some good banter about this because I don't grab onto all of it, but I think it's kind of intriguing.
Criminal referral against me, a crime report to the Department of Justice on the basis of a supposed crime I committed. What's that crime? Well, talking to people in Iran before the war. They read my texts. So the crime under consideration apparently would be the Foreign Agent Act or something like that, acting as an agent of a foreign power. And I don't expect this to go anywhere. I'm not too worried about an actual criminal case against me for a bunch of reasons. One, I'm not an agent of a foreign power. Unlike a lot of people commenting on U.S. politics and global affairs, I have only one loyalty, and that's the United States, and have never acted against it. Its interests are the only interests I care about because I'm from here and I have a lot of kids. So that's not a concern. I've also never taken money from anybody. Don't need it, don't want it, and that's provable. And moreover, it's my job to talk to everybody all the time and try and figure out what's happening around the world. That's literally what I do for a living, and I'm not going to stop doing that, nor should I don't think. I'm also an American. So I can talk to anybody. I have no secrets to divulge. So legally, I think the case is ludicrous, and I doubt it will even become a case. I'm bringing this up for a couple of reasons, though, and they're pretty obvious. One is that countries tend to become more authoritarian in wartime. It's just the nature of war. People are dying. The stakes are high. People's emotions have risen to a very high point, to a crescendo. And so there's much less tolerance for any kind of dissent in the homeland. The irony, of course, is the United States fights wars on behalf of freedom, but there's always less of it here in our country during war. So that's a widely recognized phenomenon, and it's likely to happen now too. Another point to make that is worth knowing is that the USIC, the intelligence agency, spy on Americans. Now, you probably knew that, and it's been revealed a lot, including by Julian Assange and Ed Snowden, both of whom are threatened with death for revealing it, but everyone knows. But it's probably a little more widespread than most people understand, and it's outrageous. There's no justification for your government, which you own, you're a shareholder in it, you pay for it, to be violating your privacy like this. But it happens all the time. And in fact, one of the reasons that CIA or people within CIA, just to be clear, it's a huge, sprawling, disconnected agency. What it does in a specific case doesn't represent what everybody in the building thinks, but there are some people who are mad at me for my views about Israel, and they have some latitude. And one of the reasons they pass on criminal complaints, in effect, to law enforcement is to justify warrants for spying on Americans. So that is an absolutely real thing. But
so I want to play that part for you guys. You guys are older than I am.
Hey, don't talk about Dan like that.
Don't talk about Dan like that. But he brings some things up. And do I think that Tucker Carlson, am I concerned about Tucker Carlson? No, I'm not. But I want your guys' opinion on it because obviously it's been a huge fucking thing here in the media and social media especially. And that's where I grab that. Like, do you think, I mean, I know we're all being watched. We're all being watched one way or another. Dan's on his phone right now.
Well, I hope people are watching through the camera right there.
Yeah.
No, I was just
That's ideal.
just
But
looking
no.
at the message Pappas just sent me.
No, but somebody's fucking watching.
Sent both of you.
Somebody's watching. No matter what you do in this country, you're being fucking watched.
Yeah, I would say so. There's a reason that the NSA has those facilities that collect gargantuan amount of information. But listen, I mean, first of all, full disclosure, I was a really big Tucker Carlson fan when he was on Fox News.
So was I.
I liked what he did. I liked how he said it. He made me laugh. He didn't seem to take himself too seriously.
It was fun.
It was fun.
It was fun to watch.
It was fun to watch. And it was must watch. After he left Fox, he's different in a way. You know, I saw when he went to Israel and he claimed that he was being harassed, and then some video came out and it was like he was taking pictures with these guys, and then he comes out afterwards and he says, "Oh, they were harassing me," and they clearly weren't. I don't know what his.
That's why I wanted to bring this up.
He's got a big anti-Israeli bent. He doesn't like. It seems to me like he just has a real chip on his shoulder when it comes to Israel, and I don't know what that's from, but he's free to have it. I just think I think he hides it because, like I said, he was taking pictures with these guys and yucking it up, and then all of a sudden he makes claims that his own picture showed weren't accurate at all. So, you know, I did see where I read something where, you know, it says Trump played Tucker like a fiddle because he gave him information and he knew he would run back to the Iranians, and that, you know, we weren't going to attack or something along those lines. And then we did attack. Who knows? I mean, Tucker has a tendency, it looks like lately, especially he's and maybe always, I don't know, but he's maybe sensationalizing something that might not otherwise be there. Are we all being watched? Yeah, I mean, the Patriot Act is intrusive. It does a lot of stuff that I don't think is good. FISA courts, I don't think that they're particularly useful. I mean, maybe they are in some cases, but, you know, they've never really even been addressed. Congress just ignores it. So I don't know if you can, Dan, can you even expect have an expectation of privacy in today's digital age?
I think within the own walls of your own domicile, I think you should have that reasonable expectation of privacy.
Alexa in your house?
A what?
Alexa?
I do not.
You don't?
I do not, and I will not.
You
have
don't?
one.
Won't?
No.
Don't want.
No, I don't, because they're watching you. The cell phone watches you all the time.
Well, the cell phone listens to you all the time.
I can't tell you how many times I've been sitting there
talking
to my wife.
You have internet in your house, right?
Yeah.
So they're watching.
Do you have a VPN?
I do not have a VPN.
All right. So VPN is probably the only way that I know of where they cannot watch you.
Well, no. They don't know where they could watch you.
They can watch you,
But they don't know where you are.
They don't know where you are.
Theoretically. But I think there's even ways around that.
I mean, your television can watch you.
Your television can watch
your refrigerator. If you have your refrigerator that's got a smart refrigerator,
I have one of those.
It could be sending information to Kenya or China or anywhere else.
I'm low on mayo.
You're watched all the time.
So yeah, I mean, it's the world. It's the world we live in. But when it comes
inside of my fridge right now,
no. Okay. When it comes to Tucker Carlson,
I want to see.
Okay. I've seen all kinds of theories about him, including one where he's actually in league with Donald Trump, and he was a major player leading up to the action in Iran. So I don't know. I don't know.
Real.
Yeah, I mean, I've read that he owns property in Qatar now. That he's buying a house there. I mean, I don't know how, if any of this stuff is true. Honestly, I'm not interested in it.
Okay.
I mean, I was a big fan. It was 8:00 on Monday through Friday, right. Fox News, Tucker Carlson, boom. I was there because the guy is he's a very good writer. He's very persuasive. He was, when he was talking about the subjects that everyone was talking about back in the day, he had great ways of presenting subjects and could form an opinion or express an opinion that could make you expand your thinking about a particular subject.
Mhm.
Do
He's
you
very
think?
persuasive?
Do you think that he was giving? And this is a question. Do you think that he was giving information to the Iranians?
What kind of information does he have to give?
I don't know.
Well,
But I mean,
But that's what he's being questioned about.
yeah. If he,
I'm asking your opinion.
but he
Well-
makes a good point. He is perfectly free to talk to anyone on the
Absolutely.
planet that he wants.
You're a
to talk to.
journalist. You're a media guy.
He is, but
You don't. It doesn't matter if you're a journalist.
But that's why I wanted to bring this up to you. Is you're in the media.
Yeah.
well, if they have
So
his
yes,
text,
if you wanted to talk to somebody, let's just hypothetically say that the third supreme leader, the quote unquote,
Of the
Do you
Yeah.
think the second guy is dead?
well, he's not doing well. Or
Yeah.
he's-
I
He's
have
not
no idea. I
feeling
have.
well.
I
I
have
thought
no
they
idea.
killed two, and then
They almost get two and a half.
the third one is the son.
They killed a few other guys last night too.
Yeah,
so
they
I
killed a
don't
few
know.
other guys.
But all right, whatever.
All right. What's your point? What's your question?
Well, you're fucking derailing everything. But whatever Iranian leader, which we're gonna get to here coming up, in the fact that Trump was giggling. But if you were to reach out and talk to that Iranian leader or somebody in his echelon and have questions as a media guy, do you think that you should be able to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why not?
right. That's why I brought this up, is the fact that Tucker Carlson's talking to Iranians, potentially, in quotes, but all of a sudden he's a spy. But you're a journalist.
I think it's a bit more than he.
I don't
was
think
just
it would be unheard of
talking.
for a so-called journalist
Right.
to actually be a dual role as a spy and a journalist. I don't think that would be unheard of.
Not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, is it plausible that Tucker Carlson is a spy but a spy on behalf of who? He just said in the video right there he loves the United States, so he would never do anything against the United States.
But does a spy tell you that? And I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm curious. You being in journalism, how does that work? When you get accused, because he's essentially accused. Let's be honest. He's accused.
He is, and they say they're invested based on his text messages. So the point of the matter is they've been intercepting his text messages, and that's why they want. I think it's a bit more than, it's not as simple as he was interviewing Iranians or whatever.
Right.
It's based on his
He
text
went
messages.
over and interviewed Putin. He
Yes, he
was
did.
the one that sat down
one of the only
with
ones.
Putin.
Yeah, right. Which was
So-
a pretty good interview too. I
Yes,
watched,
And
it. It was
that's when all this stuff started. I was gonna make that point.
Yeah,
That's when all this started. Is
the
when he went over and
Ukraine
interviewed Putin, and Putin was, by many considered an enemy of the United States. And I didn't have a problem with him going over there, but a lot of people did.
But he's being
Somehow
a journalist.
that was considered traitorous activity for him to go and have a sit down with Putin. And I watched the interview, and I don't think he went out of his way to try and put Putin on a pedestal or make him look
right.
a certain way,
He's
good or
asking
bad
questions.
or whatever. Yeah.
He's asking the pertinent questions that needed to be answered or asked at that point in time. So, do you feel right now, with everything that's going on with Tucker Carlson and what they're saying, you as a media guy, because I'm not, Pappas is not, where do you feel?
As
You're a social media expert.
that would be me.
yeah, social media.
Yeah. So let's keep it.
Well,
straight.
we're talking about media.
Well, the word media is in there, so fuck off.
I'm curious where you stand with that.
I don't think Dan's any different than anyone else. Who the hell wants to
Yeah.
be spied on? I mean, nobody.
No, I don't think anyone deserves to be spied on. Is there any evidence of him committing any sort of treasonous act, any sort of traitorous act? I mean, I don't know. I have no idea what The NSA or whatever three-letter agency out there, the CIA, the FBI, have no idea what, if any, information they have on him.
But he said his text messages were read.
Oh, that's what he said. Is that true? Do we know?
I mean, he literally said
it is.
I don't know it to be true, but he said it was true.
It's going to be interesting.
Has a government agency told him that we have observed your text messages? Have they told him that?
I think they told him he's
pretty
being
sure he wouldn't have made that statement had he not heard that.
I think he said he's been contacted by an agency and he's being investigated. It's
well, then he should probably lawyer up.
It'd be interesting.
I would imagine.
Look, time's going to tell where this goes. It's going to be really interesting to see. But we talked about Candace Owen for a second, Tucker Carlson. I mean, and the relationship between people that used to be all on the same side. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of difference between Mark Levin, Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, and now, I mean, the micro penis comment. There seems to be a pretty big gulf. And this war is this Iranian war is really, and the influence Israel has on the United States is really causing some deep divisions in people that used to get along here in this country. And it's going to be really interesting to watch. It's going to be really interesting to watch where this all leads.
I don't know. I mean, if this turns into a major First Amendment case, then I'll start following a lot more closely than I have right now. But I've got so much other shit that I've got to worry about. I don't have time to get into skirt around or mess around with conspiracy theories or what this social media person or this blogger is doing over here. And
I'd agree with that.
The cat fighting that's going on between Megyn and all these different people.
But you can't put, so I'm going to real quick, Sensi, I will agree with you. I did see a quick clip of that on SNL.
SNL did something that was funny.
I think, what year was that?
No, it literally just happened, but it was Tucker Carlson, and it was actually funny. I saw a quick clip.
Has been funny since John Belushi left.
It was funny as shit. But I understand there's a lot of other shit going on, but the fact that Tucker Carlson was such a big person on Fox News,
it was huge.
and goes and makes his own thing, and is still big.
I don't know how big he still is, honestly. I mean, he has a podcast and he has a network or whatever.
He's got a huge following.
I'm sure he does.
He's got a huge following.
I'm sure he does. But I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know.
But when you get called out like that, that's where I was curious. And that's the whole premise of that thumbnail was, is he a spy? I don't think he is.
I don't think he is.
I don't think he is at all.
I don't think he is, and I don't think it serves. Honestly, I'll say this, and you guys know I'm a Trump fan and a conservative, and it can't be both. Well, whatever. If this is being pushed by the administration that Tucker Carlson's a spy, or we're going to try to go down the road of the narrative that Tucker Carlson is a spy, I think it doesn't serve us well. I think like Dan said, we have bigger things going. I mean, literally. We have the world is in a place I never thought it would be in my lifetime. And I could give, at least me personally, I'll worry about this shit later. I mean, I don't think Tucker Carlson's a spy, so I don't think accusing him of being a spy serves us well. If you have something, unless you have him, cupping the son of the Khamenei's son, who apparently has the proclivity to like being cupped by another man, unless you have him cupping the guy's nads. A picture of it. I really see how I segued into the story, but I really don't think. I just have other shit. There's other shit going on, and I'm not going to waste a whole lot.
There's a lot bigger fish. I mean, there's a lot of other issues in my book that have to be taken off the table before I'm going to start delving into the comings and goings of Tucker Carlson.
Now, I know that you spent all night watching the Academy Awards.
Because I guarantee you, Tucker Carlson doesn't spend any time at all concerned about the comings and goings of One Morning Out of Here podcast.
So that leads to the story Jason has on the screen here, that it is it's being said that, what is his name? I can't say that. Mojtaba?
I have no idea.
Mojtaba Khamenei?
Khamenei is probably gay, which is I don't care if he's gay or
not that there's anything wrong with it.
Not that there's anything wrong with it. But in an Islamic country which prides itself on its crackdown on homosexuality,
It's frowned upon. They're
frowned upon.
It's just
Heavily frowned upon.
It's fucking.
a little more serious. One of the more serious.
A little more than frowned upon.
You may die. You may die.
You might not make it out alive. And if he's gay, that would be. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who's pushing this out there. Everyone's like, "That's Israeli misinformation."
Trying to figure out.
It would be
the video.
It would be kind of amazing, don't you think?
It's just that's.
Now we need to pull up that song the guy did in front of city council.
Oh.
Butt sex on my mind. What's the name of that? What's that fucking song?
Why don't you pull that out on him right now? Jason, find that song.
No, that was a long time ago. We played that video a couple times.
God, I smell.
What's that guy's
dinner.
name? That's
Jill,
pretty funny.
Jill's cooking something good upstairs, Jason.
How about my boy Afro Man?
Well, we can get to that. Actually, we can get to that at some point.
Afro Man's fantastic. But no, I look. If the guy's gay, I don't care. I care more about what his politics and his policy are. I thought I also read where he said that he could work with the Trump administration and get things straightened out. I thought I read something about that, about him in that initially, but so I don't know. Is he injured? Is he dead? Is he in the hospital?
I hear he's pretty injured. Last I read something, he missed being killed by literally seconds. I think it said he left the room to go cup somebody, but
but I heard a commentator talking about him the other night, and apparently this guy is such a flamer that he gets really annoying when he's trying to convince guys to hook up with him.
Oh my god, you know who I am?
That's what
who won't wear the ribbon.
Originally, it was his tutors growing up, and then now that he's been all fucked up on meds, that any man that comes in it, like he's
real handsy.
He's just he's way handsy.
Well,
and his dad made the statement that he is not the guy
to take my place.
He is not the guy to fucking handle this.
Well, they're running out of people.
Well, guess what? His dad died. The second in charge died. Now it's him. And
their head of security died last night,
and he's all fucked up.
Listen, we're in day 17, and I know that everyone, we're going to talk later about the guy that was on that stepped down, and there's some other stories on that.
Joe Kent
stepping down from the board without, and we'll talk about it at the time. But listen, we're on day 17 of something I never thought would happen in my lifetime, and I still am just hoping and praying, and I guess that this ends well, and that there is some resolution to this at some point, because people are, I think the American public is patient, and if they see an end coming, and let's be honest,
there's some.
World War II went on for 4 years.
There's some that are patient.
4 or 5 years. Some are. World War II went on for 4 or 5 years. Afghanistan went on forever. The Iran-Iraq war wasn't terribly long, but it didn't really. During then Iraq invasion, that didn't really impact your life because the gas prices didn't surge overnight. I don't remember. I don't think they did. Did they? I don't think they did.
They never really got totally out of control, if memory serves.
Now gas is up $1 a gallon, plus or minus from where it was. And the stock market is down. So people will get nervous if they see their 401k. They're going to look at their portfolio, and they'll see the values down, and they'll see gas prices up. And, that makes the American public very, very, very nervous. And I'm concerned about that. So my point is, I hope whatever plan they had, and I'm sure at least I hope they did, that at some point, the crown prince would go in, establish some sort of government in some province of Iran.
Apparently he's got a group of people that they're trying to get something together. Crown prince.
The Kurds have gone in. The Kurds have gone in from the north, and I'm hopeful that this. I think about them. I guess what I'm saying is we're day 17. What do you think the American public's tolerance for this duration comes out to before they better start seeing some concrete results?
I think the tolerance level has a way to go. The media is doing everything it can, though, to make that tolerance level as low as possible.
Right.
And of course, they're jumping all over the Joe Kent thing today, as though this is a major crack in the Trump administration. Major.
What they don't mention is what I sent you. That there was some information shared that I've seen that Joe Kent was about to be canned, and
could be
that's why he stepped down before he was canned. I'm just saying what I've read. I'm not saying it's my idea. I'm just saying what I've read. Now, the only thing I have a problem with this Joe Kent story is he makes this thing. Okay, he says what he said.
Well, let Dan read this story.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Because he has it pulled up. That's perfect. It's a perfect segue.
I mean, I was watching this in real time today as all this was developing. So Joe Kent is the head, or was the head, of the National Counterterrorism Center, which works under the Department of Homeland Security, or not Homeland Security, but actually is under the purview of Tulsi Gabbard, the Department of DNI. Now I can't even think of what that is. But anyway, I'll get to that later.
Another 3-letter.
Yeah, another 3-letter.
Yeah.
So anyway,
all the 3 letters.
So he wrote a letter to Trump, and then he immediately goes and posts that letter on social media, which is, again, that he's an American. He can do that if he wants. And he talks about, after much reflection, I've decided to resign from my position as Director of National Counterterrorism. I cannot, in good conscience, support the ongoing war in Iran. So
17 days.
So So I look at this, and I actually want to give Mr. Kent some props here, because if you are in a position where you are serving the administration and you cannot, in good conscience, serve that administration to the best of your ability, then I think you have an obligation to step down. If you can't divorce yourself from those feelings, and you're in a position where you may, as the head of the National Counterterrorism Center, I don't know if he gives briefings directly to the president, or there's someone more senior than him that fills that particular role. Okay. But if you're in that sort of position, you have an obligation to the country to do that and provide information to the president so he can make the best decisions possible. Mm-hmm. If he, in good conscience, cannot support the policies of this president, then he should step down. Mm-hmm. That's something that James Comey should have done as the head of the FBI, but he didn't do it. Mm-hmm. And look at, look at what a reprehensible human being he turned out to be. So then he goes on to write, that Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation, and it is clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. So he writes that, and I've read the entire letter that he wrote. Nowhere in that letter does he offer any substantive proof.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Or even evidence of what he suggests here.
So this seems more like his opinion
that Trump was duped,
right,
by Bibi Netanyahu and the Israel lobby here in America. So, and he talks about how he's Director of National Intelligence. That's a DNI. That's Tulsi Gabbard. He talked about how he supported Trump and his foreign policies in 2016, 2020, 2024. And he talked about how Trump policies were good then, but this policy he can't go along with. So he did the right thing by stepping down. Caroline Leavitt had this response immediately, and Trump had his own response. And he said, look, it's fine. The guy's gone. I never really knew him that well. And typical Trump. But here's Caroline Leavitt responding to the resignation. And she says, there are many false claims in this letter, but let me address one specifically. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation. This is the same false claim that Democrats and some in the liberal media have been repeating over and over. As President Trump has clearly and explicitly stated, he has strong and compelling evidence that Iran was going to attack the United States first. This evidence was compiled from many sources and factors. President Trump would never make the decision to deploy military assets against a foreign adversary in a vacuum. Iran is the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism. The Iranian regime is evil. It proudly killed Americans, waged war against our country, openly threatened us all the way up to the launch of Operation Epic Fury. Iran has aggressively expanded their short-range ballistic missiles to combine with naval assets to give themselves immunity, meaning they would have a degree of capabilities that would give them immunity to hold us and the rest of the world hostage. The regime aimed those ballistic missiles as a shield to continue achieving their ultimate goal, nuclear weapons. The president thought this through his top negotiators, gave the regime every single possible opportunity to abandon this unacceptable course by permanently giving up their nuclear ambitions in exchange for sanctions relief, free nuclear fuel, and the potential economic partnership with our country. But they would not say yes to peace because obtaining nuclear weapons was their fundamental goal. The president ultimately made the decision that a joint attack with Israel would greatly reduce the risk to American lives that would come from a first strike by the terrorist Iranian regime and address this imminent threat to America's national security interest. So compare what Caroline Levitt wrote to what was written by Mr. Joe Kent. Mm-hmm. There is substance, there are facts, there is evidence that she presents as to why the president made the decision he made.
Right.
Mr. Kent provides no such evidence. So
that's a key point that I think a lot of people, as I can guess some here in the chats, but I think a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, CCC, look at him, but yet he offers no evidence. Basically, this is his opinion, which he's free to have. Don't misunderstand me.
Yeah.
I'm not bemoaning.
I'm fine with him saying what he said. It would be nice if
I would take it a bit more seriously if he said,
there's some more substance.
Based on his position, you think he'd be able to say, I have an email from the Israelis, or I've intercepted an email between the Israeli embassy, whatever, saying, haha, we got one over on him. The other thing one other thing I'd like to mention regarding this, everything about Donald Trump, and I mean everything about Donald Trump, the one thing people say is he has a tendency to listen, or at least get the opinion of a lot of sides. I mean, that's just what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And then he makes his mind up. If you believe that Donald Trump could be misled or led into this on rumor, innuendo, without him asking for documentation to back up what he's being told, i.e., that they were close, they were pursuing these nuclear weapons, I just disagree with that. I think Donald Trump probably did his homework. I think his position, if you look at his historical position on this, given way back, I think 45 years ago, they've pulled up interviews of him talking about Iran. I think that you'll find that he's been very consistent.
Trump has, yeah, absolutely.
And I think that this was not, people will say this isn't what you ran on, blah, 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 blah. But given what the Iranians, I'm not going to get into it, but given what the Iranians said to Wyckoff, is it Wyckoff? Wyckoff. Anyway.
Jim Wyckoff.
At the end of the day, given what they said, you didn't destroy all of our century. We're going to keep enriching. There's nothing you can do about it, blah, blah, blah. Trump's finally like, you know what? We're ripping this Band-Aid off and we're taking care of it now. Now,
since he sarcastically says 1,000%.
I know. I had a feeling he would. I mean, some people are consistent and some people are consistently stupid. At the end of the day, welcome back. Hey, you missed me. At the end of the day, time will tell if this was the right decision, and a lot's going to depend upon how soon this comes to a resolution and there's some semblance of, we're getting there. We're at day 17, is the American public going to be happier if in another 10 days we see the Shah's son, or what is he, his nephew's son? What is the guy? I can't remember, the Crown Prince. So I guess it'd be his son, go back into Iran and set up another government, and then they have an internal struggle. I mean, I would like to see, I guess what I'm saying here is I'd like to see a regime change. I don't want to see at the end of this, whatever we're going to call it, it'll be known as in history, I don't want to see the same clerics in charge of Iran, because I think that would come back in another 40 or 50 years and really bite us in the head.
Well, that's what Trump's been talking
I don't
about.
think anybody actually is running Iran outside of the fucking what was it? The IRGC generals. Those are the ones that are running it.
Yes, but
because we haven't seen or heard anything outside of somebody posting a statement,
right, from the guy,
from the quote unquote supreme leader,
cardboard guy.
Yeah. Well, the fag. We'll call him the fag. The gay guy. Whoever that guy is, that nobody even knows that he exists.
Well,
the generals are running it.
If you were there, would you want to be popping your head out of a hole?
No.
About now? It's like whack-a-mole.
But that's the thing. That's the other thing. That's the other question. Like, why would he? I'd be hiding like a motherfucker.
I'll ask you guys. What?
But there's intelligence saying that, yeah, he's pretty fucked up, and if he's even alive, we don't even know.
Let me get back to Mr. Kent here for a moment. Okay,
Joe.
So in his resignation letter, he stated that
it's like a dissertation,
that Iran posed no imminent threat to America. Okay. And I want to give credit to Breitbart News here, because they went back and looked at some of the former postings of Mr. Kent. And this opinion that he has today is in contrast with earlier public posts that he had on his X account. On January 8th, 2020, Kent wrote, Trump's restraint shows that he wants a deal with Iran, and his red line is American loss of life and IR nuke development. Our fundamental vulnerability remains troops in striking range of IR weapons and proxies with no vital U.S. mission. Then let me see. In that thread, he also shared the following. Additional sanctions will only be effective if they address Iran's access to the Iraqi economy. Trump's responses have been very measured. He has gone against both R&D and conventional thinking and advice. This is nuance and accounts for Trump's appeal to those skeptical of our wars. He further stated, I personally think we should have crushed their ballistic and nuke capes, but Trump has a plan. He has definitely earned the confidence of any clear-eyed observer.
When did he say this?
In 2020. So here he is, and so at this time, he's stating quite clearly that we should have crushed their ballistic and nuke capabilities. All right, which is what Trump has done at this point.
Right.
So he was of this opinion 6 years
ago,
but he's no longer of this opinion.
Actually, it's the opposite.
Yeah. Let's see. In September of 2024, he wrote, important, Iran's goal in orchestrating 7 October was to break up the Abraham Accords because the historic alliance isolated Iran's terror regime. Trump used a balance of diplomacy, economic pressure, and targeted strikes to contain Iran. This is the embodiment of peace through strength. Israel's dismantling of Hezbollah would have been much more challenging, if not impossible, had Trump not taken out Iran's terror mastermind, Qasem Soleimani. So remember when he took out Soleimani?
Oh, yeah.
On the tarmac of that airport. So here he is, again, praising Trump and talking about the Abraham Accords, which were a key development. So it seems to me that Joe Kent, when the opinion that he has of Iran and whether or not they pose a threat, it varies somewhat. And so if he stated quite clearly that we should crush their nukes, and we should crush their ballistic missiles.
A reporter,
so
somebody should ask him point blank, what has caused you to have such a diametrically opposed position today than you did 6 years ago? What has happened?
So apparently, he's fine with the foreign policy as long as it adheres to his way of thinking.
So listen,
when there's a variance in that, well, then he writes the letter that he wrote. And again, I give him credit for stepping down from his position.
Correct. Instead of
because if he can't fulfill that,
he should.
In a way that has honesty and integrity, then he should step down. So
absolutely,
I give him props for that.
Well, we're going to see where this ends up. I mean, but getting back to
the media's attempt to make this guy some sort of superhero, or some sort of guy who is single-handedly going to bring down the Trump administration, which they are, they're hoping for that.
Well, what I'm not going to do
is that doesn't hold water.
What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to do what everyone else, or maybe some people would be knee-jerk to do. It seems like so when someone disagrees with the position you have, suddenly you want to destroy the guy. Oh, did you know he vacationed in Palestine, his honeymoon or some shit like that, right? You point out his inconsistency on his prior position, which the internet's a wonderful thing. It says everything. But some reporter, you think, I'll put it this way. If we could find this or read this article, you think a reporter could say, hey, I'd like to ask you a question. Just, point blank, what caused your position to flip? If they were a danger 6 years ago, and now you think they're not, or now you say they weren't a danger, were a tool of Israel, which is, let's be fair, that's a pretty that's a pretty widely shared position that people are spreading. That
totally.
Trump, I've heard Trump is Bibi's bitch, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. I don't think Trump is anyone's, but we'll see where this turns out.
It's quite possible and probably is true that this guy is in possession of information that he's not able to reveal.
Possible.
So
I think he's an honorable person.
I don't discount that, but he doesn't make any reference or even any allusion to it.
He doesn't say
in his resignation letter. He could say, I have seen information that and he can do it in a roundabout way to.
He doesn't have to talk about.
No, he doesn't have to get into any specifics. But he doesn't even attempt to do that.
No, he doesn't. And so I think
now when he appears on CNN and MSNBC and The View and all the rest of that,
I will say this:
we'll see how far he goes.
Back when he was,
I can't wait to see him on The View.
When he was running for office, I don't know
the ladies of The View want him on.
Oh, big time. But,
totally.
And it's going to be a love fest. But when he was running for office, that guy was on Fox News like literally every other night. I mean, you remember that, right? Because I think he was from Washington State. He was running for Congress from Washington State. And he was on the news quite a bit. And I think he got to be something about, I mean, Dan, you've seen this firsthand. I mean, something about fame, or at least notoriety, it's kind of addictive. And when it starts to wane, you probably want to find a way to keep it going, right?
Well, I think that's what happens to a lot of people who go to Washington. They get in proximity to power and they get a little slice of that power for themselves.
Oh, they watch
it's addicting as hell.
You see yourself on TV a couple of times, and
sure.
It's like, man, I could be somebody.
That never happened to me.
No, I had me either, or a podcast.
We're working on it. We're working on it. We're working on it.
But I mean, look.
Not everybody can be as cool as Dan.
I just hope, like I said, fact. What I'm going to get back.
He's
to
on the blowtorch. The blowtorch.
Blow. I want to ask you guys a question. I want you to go on the record. What do you think? What do you think the American public, before people start really getting uncomfortable with where this is going or how long it's lasting? 17 days, not a long period of time. I mean, really not a long period of time. So what do you think? A month, 2 months, 6 months? What do you think this goes before people say that's enough? We've spent enough time?
I say, my personal opinion, I think this thing's going to go 3
months.
3 months.
And it's been half a month. So. Okay. Okay. That's an answer. Dan?
Well, I don't want to put a number on how long I think it's going to go. I just think
I didn't say where it's going to go before people get fed up.
I think if we get to the point to where we're not having any transparency on it, I think if we get to the point to where we're seeing American losses obviously in personnel and God bless the 3 Americans from Ohio who perished in the refueling the wreck of that KC-135 tanker, and the other members of the Air Force who perished in that.
Look at him pull his Air Force shit out.
Well, he's got the right to.
No,
he's got the right.
So we
think about those troops. But I mean, if this thing looks like it's spiraling out of control, and we don't, at some point, Trump is going to have to, I think, talk to the American people and say, look, lay out a clear vision of what he wants to accomplish and how we are going to know when we get to that point. So I think we don't have a really clear understanding of that yet. I think there is some patience to wait for that. Once we get to that point to where he lays it out, then I think we can have a realistic expectation of how long it's going to take to get there. And then I think we'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it.
I think that given the drumbeat from the media and the Democrat Party, aided by the media, and it's only been 17 days, I think that people, sadly, we've become a country of people that have very little. They want instant gratification on so many levels. They're not willing to look the long road, the long game, to use the golf term. And I think I think we have about another month. I think literally 7, because it's only been 17 days. And I do think the results have been astounding. We've destroyed, a lot of their ability to wage war. The Israelis have totally decapitated their leadership. And a lot will depend upon, I think in the next 30 days, I think people will be patient, but I think as summer gets here, okay, spring leads to summer driving season, and people are, spending $1 extra a gallon, another $15-20 to fill up their cars, and their 401ks are still languishing, or the stock market's not doing well. I think that you're going to see sentiment start to turn, and that's where it gets tricky, because what I don't want to see is this be for naught. I don't want to see to use a Jason term, a preemptive pullout, and oops, and then have this be for naught. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I do think Trump wants to run this war in such a way, and hopefully what I just said there is not true, that he's letting the Pentagon and the generals and Pete Hegseth run the war, and obviously he calls shots in the White House. He gives orders, but when it comes to actually the conduct of the war, I certainly hope, and I do think he's leaving that to the experts.
I hope so.
But I think he's positioned the United States in such a way, and I think he wants the conduct of this war to go in such a way that when it's over, that the economic prosperity that is going to follow is going to happen in short order. And I think we're positioned to do that. So the longer this goes on, I think the farther away, out of touch with that reality that we get. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't want that to happen.
Well, and I think Trump is not like dictating the way this war is going. Trump is talking to his experts. I like to think that. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be completely fucking off base, but he has a vision, and he's talking to the people that actually know who are on the ground or in the air. And hey, what can we do? Especially now, like warfare is completely different, where you have all the drones, you got all the bullshit, because they're obviously Iran's throwing their drones. Mm-hmm. I mean, like fucking footballs. But I feel like it's not Trump just saying, yeah, this is what we're doing. He's listening, and he's like, hey, I think we have a good handle on this, and let's go a little bit further.
Well, like I said, I think 30 days, another 30 days, and people will want to see some semblance of we're getting to a resolution. I do think Marines Blood made a comment, we're running out of stuff, and I think that's more of I think what that illustrates is the fact that this country, United States, we've lost so much of our manufacturing base that to ramp up the industrial military complex to replenish the missiles and the shells and bombs that we're dropping on these countries. I don't think anyone, I don't think they gave it full thought to be like, hey, we're going to have to replace this stuff. And like Raytheon, you heard Trump say to these defense companies, I'm not going to tolerate you telling me it's going to take 6 months or a year for you to, you need to get on this now. and start making these missiles. And that is concerning to me, because I would have liked to have thought they might have, at least thought about that ahead of time before we run out of shit. But the most telling thing, I think, that I appreciate, and I do think most people may not consider, is where's Russia? Where's China? They've been utterly silent on this, and utterly silent. And that shows me that there's tacit approval. Russia's mired down in Ukraine, but China's not. And China could really China could mess this up in a heartbeat. They get a lot of their oil from there. And, whether a deal's been made that they buy Venezuelan oil, I'm not sure. But, I think that shows that the world generally, other than a couple of countries, I think the world generally was pretty much sick of Iran's shit and said, it's about time for this to go. And I think tacitly, when your enemies, your regional foes, and China is our enemy. I don't care if you agree with it or not. Right. It's a fact. But when your enemy's not exploiting this to hammer you 5 ways to Sunday, that shows that, what? They knew that a bigger problem was this radical Islam that was coming out of Iran, destabilizing not only that region, but the world, needed to be addressed. And they probably tested it thank God. I think a lot of people in the world are like, thank God Trump is doing something.
This is a perfect time for China to fucking crush us if they want to.
Oh my God. China could now.
What?
Hey,
they're
listen,
not.
I will tell you this: if I was a Chinese general, General Well Hung, I would be
General Well Hung.
General Hung. Oh, you call me Well. At the end of the day, what would be the first thing you would be doing if you were China? I'd be invading Taiwan, because we've moved a lot of assets out of that area and towards the Middle East. And that's what I would be doing. The fact that they're not, and they're not squawking about stuff, it speaks volumes to me. And not many people are mentioning
when you have, and I'm going to pull local real quick, when you pull these fucking idiots that you had one of the greatest fucking Facebook posts ever.
Me?
Yeah.
You throw enough shit at the wall, something's gonna stick.
With our friend
Miss Stemmer?
Stemmer.
Oh yeah. Stemmer. With Kathy Stemmer. I'm glad you brought up Miss Stemmer.
And the little meme that she threw up, where it was a caricature of Trump, like, hey guys, come back, we need your help. It's not that fucking bad, so shut the fuck up. For one,
we're asking. The one thing I find annoying, and maybe you guys do, and Dan, you served in the Air Force. You were in Japan?
3 years in Okinawa, Japan, Kadena Air Base.
So, and thank you. But one day I will push you around DC on an honor flight in a wheelchair. But at the end of the day,
I can pretty much guarantee that's not
probably happen. The reason I asked, we have so many allies that, they get their oil through the Straits of Hormuz, and all Trump has done is say, hey, you guys want to step up and help escort these ships through, can you have some of your assets to escort some of these ships through the straits to mitigate some of the attacks that may take place. And, a lot of these, Germany said no. And the reason I mentioned you served in Okinawa, I mean, how many years has the rest of the world pretty much relied on the United States to protect their ass? And when you ask them for a slight bit of reciprocity, they say no. How does that? I mean, that bugs the shit out of me. I don't know how everyone else feels, but it does bother me. I don't take it as, oh, they hate Trump. I take it as they just look at the United States as suckers, and we're always going to be there, and they just take us for granted. That's how I look at it.
Well, I mean, to my way of thinking, that is Trump.
Oh, tap it.
That is Trump just with an opening salvo in future negotiations with our NATO allies.
That's what we do, though. We are the world police.
He's going to measure that response, and he's going to weigh it against what he wants what kind of business he wants to do with these countries in the future. And he will. I don't think he's going to get. He didn't seem all that upset about it today.
No,
but he will not forget about it. He's
not going to forget about it.
And when the time comes, he'll play that card to his advantage.
Look, we're not the world's police. We are the world's police, but at the end of the day, I don't mind being compensated for it. And where's the quid pro quo, Jason? I mean, if we're the world, well, that's bullshit.
That
is bullshit. A lot of people like this tanker catastrophe or this tanker accident that happened when these people died. You know what? During the Cold War and during just being in the military and messing around with this shit, it's all big stuff, and shit happens and people die, whether that's in war or not. People die, accidents. People die. And the fact of the matter is we got a lot of shit over there that can kill people, and an accident happen.
It's an inherently dangerous business.
It's a dangerous business.
Sure
and the fact of the matter is, we want the Americans to have a base here so they'll spend their money and, they'll prop up Liechtenstein. At the end of the day, that's bullshit. When we asked Liechtenstein for a couple of ships to help, escort a couple of freighters full of fucking Christmas toys or whatever they're coming through the Straits of Hormuz, I don't think that's a big ask. And then to be like, I think the quote from Germany was, "It's not our war. We're not getting involved." Oh, I'm sorry. Let's rewind history for a second. When did we get involved? Oh, the 2 world wars that were your wars. So, F off.
Exactly.
I mean, it just pisses me off. And I don't know if a lot of people feel that way, but the more I think about it, the more pissed off I get, because we have been taken for granted. And I actually find it refreshing that we finally have a president that says, you know what, enough of this shit. I'm tired of you guys just fucking taking us for granted. We're not to be taken for granted.
He actually fucking made a stand and said, I'm fixing this.
I'm fixing
Iran, you are not doing this.
No, you're not going to have nuclear weapons.
Yes.
You're not ever going to have nuclear weapons. You can't be trusted with, much. And at the end of the day,
this is why we can't have nice things.
This is why we can't have nice things. And, I like I said, look, I drove a substantial amount of miles. I put 1,000 miles on my new car. Well, new again to me that I love.
Tesla?
No. Well,
did you get a new
you know what? That sticker fell off. No, I got it fixed. I got my car fixed. And I'm in love with my car again. But anyway, yes, I have a new romance with my car. But the point of the matter is I had to fill up the gas tank, a couple of times in a weekend. And,
it sucks.
I just was like, when you fill up and it's like it was $40 and now it's $60. And I'm like, okay, that's, I feel it. Don't get me wrong. You start to notice this shit. But I was like, I am happy. And maybe I'm in the minority here. If that means that the world here in the next month, 6 months, 3 months is going to be a safer place and a better place, is that a big fucking ask? I don't think it is.
I'm okay with it.
I don't think it is. I hate it.
Everybody hates it, but guess what? I can deal with it.
Is it better for me to say, oh, I'd rather have my $40 a gallon fill up, right? But then what's that bright light in the distance, some in a year or so when the world blows up?
I mean, fuck, literally 3 weeks ago, we were at 219.
What is that? I didn't know the sun's coming up this early.
We were like 219 a gallon.
No, we were. And now it's 3.
And now it's up. So, and I'm seeing all these fucking and
the same people that were
that dumbass bitch on our our Anderson page that we hate.
Stemmer
fucking wants to hit. Oh my God! Look, everybody was bitching about Biden. Everybody's bitching about Biden.
She should be more worried about the price of Cheetos given her diet. But at the end of the day, here's the deal.
I can deal with it for a little bit.
That's terrible.
I can deal with it for a little bit. We dealt with.
I don't know this gal, so.
Oh, I'll show you that.
We dealt with that shit though for 4 fucking years.
The other thing I find
we just had a major spike.
That's right, and then it came down.
Understandable,
right?
Because of what's happening. Be smart and think.
Because
this is a small spike.
The other thing I find offensive is that there's no fault being given and no mention being given that, hey, guess what? You know what? It sure would be nice if we had, a full strategic reserve to fall back on. Oh, no, that was emptied under the prior president because he was playing politics with the price of gas.
Weird.
And actually, I read a report, and you may have missed this, but I read a report that because they pumped so much gas or oil and so fast, the salt domes that these are stored in, these natural rock formations, were damaged and may not be able to be used again to their capacity that they were used prior because the Biden administration just pumped them dry. True story. Look it up. But anyway,
I have not seen it.
No, I haven't read that particular one, but I know filling them up takes a lot longer. It's just the way the infrastructure for that is created. Filling them up takes a lot longer than it does to empty them. So you can empty them a lot faster than you can fill them up.
Right. So anyway, we'll see where this leads. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that people have a longer patience. And like I said, my hope and prayer at the end of the day is that the world, we see some progress.
Everything will level out.
I think so.
It will level out.
I think so.
We're hitting a spike.
Yeah, I think it'll be all right.
I think it'll be all right.
It'll level out, but we won't survive not survive, but we won't live through a 4-year fucking
4-year continued increase trajectory of gasoline.
$3.89 or $3.89.
That was cheap under Biden. That was cheap under Biden.
That was cheap.
And the other thing is,
I'm being nice.
And the other thing is that price range, that price spike under Biden was not only by design, because they were nudging you into electric vehicles so that you'd be like, oh, you know what? Exactly. And smaller vehicles. And I'll tell you this, I'd like to meet the guy that mandated the cylinders that shut off in vehicles, because I'd like to break his, I'd like to crush his nads, because that guy almost cost me an engine.
You want to
But at the end of the day, this is a supply and demand problem. This is because of the perceived, the choke in what's coming out of the Middle East, the unrest gas that nobody likes, uncertainty. This is not the government raising the prices artificially to nudge you into other behavior. And you should be driving, like I said, I told you guys, I had to drive a Mitsubishi Mirage for one day. How I got my fat ass in and out of that car, I have no idea.
And watching you get into a fucking Renegade was amazing.
Oh, that was.
I should have taken a video.
That car either.
I should have taken a video for our Instagram.
Yes, it was more like a.
That was amazing.
Anyhow, my diatribe's over. Let's hope and pray this works out, and we'll keep talking about it. But this Joe fella. I would love to see documentation for his accusations, as Dan mentioned. I haven't seen anything yet.
Let's see it.
Put up or
anything else?
Just a little evidence.
Just a little evidence.
No, I just found a funny cartoon. You want to read that headline in real quick?
Notice Hunter Biden isn't on executive boards anymore. Odd, huh? I mean, that is
that weird?
That is weird.
That is a weird.
You know, if you look at that,
no one seems to want his services the way they used to.
Well, no, and I mean, Burisma. What was Burisma paying him? Can you remember?
It was like $35,000 a month.
Something like that. And the
guy
right now,
not a bad gig. Yeah,
guy right now, I think he's penniless. He's saying
I think he was on. He was on the board of Amtrak. He was on the board of all these other corporations.
Isn't that weird? Yeah. But the Biden family, that must have been coincidence. He was the smartest. Remember? Joe Biden quote:
"Smartest guy he knew."
Smartest guy.
Our buddy Eric Matheny posted that.
Awesome.
We'll see you guys back here Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Friday.
Good to me.
We appreciate you. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, you guys
everybody
have fun.
Eat some corned beef and hash. Do whatever it is you do, but we appreciate you. And
gonna go make me some hamburger helper.
Hamburger.
Yeah, with hamburger or without it?
That sounds
with hamburger.
Okay, I didn't know. Times.
I don't know what Joe's making up.
I mean, I didn't know if you.
I don't know
something
what
smells good. I mean, times are tight.
That's
sometimes
a luxury. I mean, it's it's not steak and lobster, but
you're not in the military anymore.
Obviously,
that actually smells like
Those days are gone.